Hey guys, we're glad to see you on our channel. Today we'll continue talking about streaming. As we said in our previous video, we will focus on the streaming service which is OBS, which stands for Open Broadcaster Software. We'll cover all the necessary topics, mainly how to use OBS, best OBS setting for recording, and in general how to record with OBS. We understand that OBS may seem pretty hard to navigate through, but we assure you that after watching you'll grasp what this application is about. This video will serve like an OBS tutorial for beginners and how to set relevant OBS studio settings. My name is Alex and today we'll talk about OBS in detail. Let's get into it. In the last video we talked about Twitch, content that people post there, and some streaming programs. And you probably remember that we started to talk about OBS. In this video we're going to explain how it works, especially if you're a beginner and you want to understand how OBS works. Let's start. OBS is an application that allows streamers to go live easily. This program is absolutely free and it can be used on Mac, Windows and Linux. You can download OBS and stream on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook and even on Instagram. Why do a lot of people choose OBS to stream? It is a fact that a lot of people choose OBS to stream their content because the streaming process becomes very easy. In addition, users choose it because it has unique features. OBS provides an intuitive interface. It's pretty easy to navigate through the program, especially when you're a beginner. When you open OBS, 5 columns appear at the bottom: scenes, sources, audio mixers, scene transitions and controls. OBS is all about high performance, where often it is necessary to have different scenes and sources when going live. You can do that in the first 2 columns, which are scenes and sources. OBS allows streamers to use various sources at the same time and add as many scenes as you need. The sources that you can find in OBS include images, text, window captures and many more. Is it possible to preview the sources and scenes before actually streaming? Well, of course, you could actually do that in studio mode. You'll find it in the controls column, which will be the last one. Using this mode, you can preview the sources that you choose and create scenes, see how it looks and make changes. In the third column, which is an audio mixer, you can change audio parameters, set noise suppression, gain and noise gate. In the next column, which is scene transition, you can add a transition type. For example, you want to add fade to your stream. You can do that in this section. Moreover, you can even set how long this transition will last, in milliseconds, seconds and so on. If you want to change it after, you can do that in preview. Finally, in the last column, you'll see a set of 6 controls buttons. Start streaming, start recording, start virtual camera, studio mode, settings and exit. You might think that there are a lot of things to consider before actually start broadcasting. It may seem so at first. In OBS, everything is well structured and information is presented in a special way. So you will definitely understand what each section is about and what you can change there right away. We highly advise you to pay attention to the sections we've listed, especially scenes, sources and audio columns. Imagine that you're a user who is looking for the relevant stream. Obviously, you'll continue watching a live video when the image and the audio are well edited and also don't distract you. The key point here is to focus on your audience preferences. In fact, when you start streaming, you think about your potential viewers. In this case, you might also think about getting your profile promoted for a better streaming experience. We offer such services on Viewsta. We thoroughly examine the market and how different platforms work and offer services that help users to become more noticeable online. You'll get a chance to buy promotion services with fair prices. We provide only organic traffic. In order to see the services that we have, simply filter the necessary information and pick an offer that you need from the menu. We also have a blog where we post news on marketing. There you'll find a lot of information about promotion tips that will help you to navigate better in the world of social media promotion. For more information, visit our official website at viewsta.com and start promoting your account now. Going back to the topic. What makes OBS so popular is that it supports absolutely all streaming platforms. We briefly mentioned some of the main features of OBS, and now let's turn to the settings. It takes a lot of time for a lot of beginners to understand how OBS settings work, but it's not that hard to navigate through them. Let's see. To open settings, click on the settings button in controls. It will be in the last column that we illustrated. After clicking, you will see 7 different elements appear in a new window. The first one is General. Here you can choose the color of the theme, dark or light, the language of the interface, enable or disable system tray icon, and even set automatic recording when streaming. The next one is Stream. When you click on the section, the information about your stream key will appear with the details of the server that you're using. For example, if you want to stream via Twitch in server, you'll see Twitch. Besides, if you want, you can add your own stream key. The third one is about Output. When you click on it, you'll see 4 more sections within. You can change info in streaming, recording, audio, and replay buffer. You'll get to change the data about your video and audio bitrate along with the recording quality. You can set a recording format. The best option is to pick MP4 for your stream, but of course you can change all that manually the same way. In the audio section, a user can change audio devices that are used, select microphone or auxiliary devices, and change other settings that are related to the audio performance of your future stream. Basically, here is better to check the data about your microphone and headphones for better sound quality. Here we mean sound value. The next section that follows is Video. You will get a chance to see information about your base and output resolution. It is advisable to put the resolution of your monitor for better image and leave the data about output resolution as it was. After that, you'll see the Hotkeys section. OBS offers setting your own hotkeys, so with this feature you'll save a lot of your time. Hotkeys is basically a combination of keys on a computer keyboard to perform a particular task. For better user experience, OBS offers 6 of them to do some tasks faster. So here are some of the most used hotkeys in OBS. You'll see them on the screen now. More to that, in hotkeys it is possible to set start and stop streaming or recording just by clicking on the hotkeys. And lastly, advanced settings. They are connected with stream delay, additional record setting, and so on. For a lot of elements that we've discussed, OBS has default options chosen, and for most cases having this option set is enough. So we don't advise you to change them only if you know what you need and you have a full understanding of what a particular option means. So now that we talked about the key features and settings in OBS, we touched upon scenes and sources. These 2 sections are crucial for the streamer. Now that we briefly talked about them, let's see what you can do with your scenes and sources. Here you're able to set stream layout, add games, and many more. In the scene section you can add scenes if they are not listed in the list yet. Actually, you can add as many scenes as you need for a stream and name them. It will make it possible for you to understand which scenes you'll need in your stream and make fast transitions. At the bottom, the sign of plus and minus will be shown to choose relevant details in source description section, image, media, browser, and color source, display, and game capture. Arrows that you'll see on the bottom will help you to change the order of your scenes. But note that in OBS you can't put the same name for your scenes and sources. In this case, you should come up with decent titles. Now let's briefly talk about sources. In this section you can add anything that you want to capture as a source. You can add and delete sources as in the scene sections. Actually, OBS offers a lot of different sources for you to try, and if you need to change the order of your sources, use arrows like in the scenes section. The order affects the way your sources and scenes will be shown. Sources and scenes that are on top can hide others that are below. For example, you want your webcam to show over your game stream. For that, you need to click on the source that you need, which will be gameplay, and put it over your webcam. When a source is selected, you'll see a red box. It will work this way if you want one source to be over the other one. Also, in OBS, you can hide some sources that you don't need for some time by clicking on the eye icon. What is more, OBS offers its users to change the image of the stream. You can crop the source image and change edges for a better picture. When you do that, the first thing you will see again a red box. Then, to start cropping the image, all you need to do is to hold the Alt key and drag the box. You can make it small or zoom it as you wish. You'll know that the cropping process starts when the edges turn green. Note that you can crop your image only in the preview. When you stream, you won't have that opportunity. We mentioned game capture before we started to talk more in depth about scenes and sources. As a matter of fact, it is a key element. With game capture, adding your games in OBS is easy and effective. Majority of users pay a lot of attention to this element because it allows them to perfectly capture the game that is streamed. With game capture, you can stream any game. However, there are some of them that don't work with this feature. To know more about these games, it is better to visit Game Capture Guide or contact the OBS support team. It is important to choose proper settings. We talked about the first things that need to be looked at before moving to the streaming process itself. To help you understand which to watch more, you can pay attention to, we have 4 key steps to follow before streaming. The first step, which is also advised by OBS specialists, especially when you're new to the software, is to follow the information in the Auto Configuration wizard. The window with this tool will appear when you first enter OBS. Basically, the benefit of this tool is that it sets relevant settings for your PC by testing your system first. But don't worry, after you can change details in the tool section in Auto Correction wizard. The second step is to set up your audio devices. We talked about audio settings earlier. Indeed, when going live, audio plays a key role, so for better streaming, better concentrate on that. Note that OBS has default settings for microphone and desktop audio, but anyways, it is highly advisable to check the details in sections in OBS Studio and choose what you need. Remember that it is possible to make changes manually if a wrong device was selected or, for example, if you see that the sound level is not changing. The next step is to add video sources. Before you start streaming, it is necessary to add a source because OBS doesn't provide a default one. And finally, the last step is to check your record settings and test your stream. OBS specialists advise to run a testing stream and see which indicators can be improved. So, when you're done with checking, start streaming. If you have issues during the test run, you can always turn to the FAQ section for more information or contact OBS Help Center. In OBS official webpage, you can find troubleshooting guides, information about where your recording will be saved, and other popular questions. In general, OBS has a lot of advantages as a free broadcasting software. Users are able to set as many scenes as they wish, and they can switch between them within seconds, and set as many sources as you need for your broadcast. Adjust anything you need for your stream and check your sources and scenes. Set hotkeys and test it in preview. OBS has an interface that is very easy to navigate through. Very easy video quality settings where user can frame, crop, set needed resolution, customize bitrate. So, we covered the topic of OBS as a software platform. OBS is indeed a very popular software with its unique features and settings that we've illustrated. We talked about what kind of settings OBS has, which elements can be changed within it, and how it is done. Also, we discussed some of the most prominent advantages of this application and why more and more people choose it over others. We hope this information was very helpful, and we thank you for your attention. I strongly believe that from now on you'll navigate through this application very easy and won't have any problems. Feel free to ask us questions in the comment section below. Alex was with you today, and we'll meet you very soon. See ya!